I lost my mom in 2011, and I was really dependent on her for a lot of things, anyways, I just started living life, by myself. I was squatting with a friend at that time. Thankfully, I was serving at Wazobia FM. I said thankfully because at least I was doing what I liked. I was producing. I was like the main producer for Wazobia FM. And my full earnings in a month then, I think when I added my salary and the NYSC salary, everything rounded up to around maybe 40,000 naira. And sincerely, I was happy and I was living with it too. Like, I was really thankful that at least I'm making money, by myself and everything. But then I used to look forward to, because some people that were serving with us then, those ones that were serving in oil companies, they were getting, I think, like 70k or 80k. And I used to think to myself then that somebody just collect 80k at the end of the month, 70k, how would I even feel like? That would be, I wish I can be like that. And one way or the other, I finished serving in Wazobia FM, and thankfully, they retained me. I think I did really well, glory be to God. They retained me. And my salary, I think my starting salary then maybe was 70k or 80k or thereabouts. So I was earning what I used to hope for, and I was, grateful. I was so happy. But that lasted for a while, and I got used to it, and I even was now getting tired of it. I'm like, and people, how does it even feel to earn, like, at once, to just earn 100,000 naira? That came also. I was happy, then I got used to it, Then I was like, because I was squatting with my friend, God bless you, by the way, Emmanuel, and I was like, if only I can get my own place. What would that feel like to have my place? Long story short, I got my own place, and I was so grateful. Living by myself, Then again, I got used to it, and I was getting tired of it because I was like, because I was now like, some people even live in this kind of apartment, because I was living in one kind of apartment then, which wasn't bad for starters, although it was small. I was like, if I can only live somewhere bigger. Eventually, it happened. I remember even before I changed apartment, because even at that time, I didn't like to board all these public buses, public transports, because I don't like that skin contact that happens in buses. Somebody will have sweated and their skin will just touch your skin. I don't like that thing from small. It's not about having money or not having. I didn't just like it. So I used to either take bike or I used to trek, And I know I remember I used to. It was even like a fat thing. I couldn't even conceive it in my mind. How would it even be if I get a car? How would I even be fueling it? But it would be such a good experience getting a car. And I remember, look, I used to buy Camry at that time because people told me about cars, and apparently I was looking for a car that would be friendly with fuel and so on. And people said it was Camry, so I used to, everywhere I went, I used to see Camry. Long and short of the story, God gave me, I got a Camry. I will never forget the first night when they drove my car. They brought it, because I told them to go and take care of it, watch it. They brought it to meet me in the office, School FM. I remember the joy I had. I was so happy. And, before I got the car, the way I used to think was, when I get this car, that's it, The happiness lasted for a while. Then I got used to it. And I was tired of it. And I started thinking, God, this SUV, like, Jeep, they call everything that time. When you're in your salon car, you see people driving SUVs. They are like on that high pedestal, and you're like, how does it even feel to even be in this kind of car? God, if I can just get an SUV. And most times when I think of these things, they used to look impossible. They used to look far away and everything. Long and short of the story, God did it. I got SUV. And I was so happy the first day. It felt like I was so high up. It felt so good, but I got used to it again. I was looking for the higher version of that SUV, Long and short of the story, I got, don't let me even go. Long and short of what I'm trying to say is, I think I've come to realize that thing they say that life is vanity is actually true. There's nothing that will really satisfy you in this life, if that is what you are chasing. If you are looking for your satisfaction in things, there's nothing that will really satisfy you. And the worst thing that would happen to you is for you to get to the highest, to get to that point where you've gotten everything, because, okay, at least cars are, you got the highest kind of car, the highest kind of house. You have all the money in this world. You have all the connection. in this world, and you now get to that point and you still realize that you are not satisfied, that is like a dead end, you know. I mean, that is like a tragedy, you know, tragic end point. That's what brings about when you hear about all these, you know, famous celebs, people that are really wealthy and all that, and you hear that maybe they commit suicide or something, God forbid, you know, that, or they are in depression, you know, God forbid. I don't pray depression for anybody, but that's what brings about it. Because when you are looking for satisfaction in these things, which is natural, you know, that there's that sense that even as I did like this, I know that I'm thinking to myself that how will it feel? How will I, when I get my first one, like if I just get billion in my account now, no problem supposed to be again. There's always that sense you have. But if your satisfaction and you are looking for them in things, that's when you will experience when they say life is vanity. Life is vanity. Because at the end of it all, you realize that there's nothing, and it just keeps digging a big deeper hole. It's the same thing in, you know, when you try to please your flesh, fornication, and all those things. You just, that moment you might feel good, but at the end of it all, it just keeps going deeper and deeper. But the point I'm getting to now is looking for the satisfaction in things. So, like I said, if you keep looking for satisfaction in things, you realize that life is vanity, you know. But also life can be beautiful. And you can experience the beautiful side of life as opposed to the vanity side of life. And it's very, very simple. And that's one thing I've learned. And I'm hoping that somebody here will also learn it today. Every point of your achievement, stay there. I'm not saying, you know, don't be ambitious, don't plan for, but stay there. Enjoy it. And the way to enjoy it, the way to bring out that enjoyment is in gratitude. Gratitude, not ingratitude. I mean inside gratitude. Be grateful. And when you are talking about great gratitude, there's only one person that you can be grateful to. There's only one person that qualifies to take glory, to take, you know, the responsibility for you know, the gratitude that is coming out. Somebody that is supposed to accept it. That is God. That is God. And there's a mentality you need to have. When you check Psalm 16 verse 2, read it from NLT. It says, I'll say to the Lord, you are my master, and every good thing I have comes from you. Like every good thing I have are blessings from you. Have that mentality that even when it seems like you are the one that really worked for this thing. For instance, like you worked a lot and you earned money and you bought yourself a house or whatever, or you read so much and you passed that exam, still give that glory back to God. Have this mentality that you can never, the glory is not meant for you. The glory is meant for God. When you learn to give glory to God, you will start now getting enjoyment out of things. When you give glory to God, He will give the enjoyment of that thing to you. What you are supposed to just enjoy. But the glory, I'm the one that did this. Always give it back to God. That's number one. Then be grateful. Realize that where you are now, for instance, now me have learned these glasses, this everything I have now, this car that I'm sitting inside, this watch I have that I'm able to afford, the way I look now, is something that my old self used to pray for. Do you understand? It's I still, you know, there are a lot of things I'm hoping to get and everything. I have a lot of prayer points, but I'm just staying in this moment and refusing to get tired, refusing to, you know, to what's that word? To now start on appreciating and now start, you know, because even this car now, I used to pray so much for it, but now it gets on wala way they give me, I will just be like, which kind of wala be this and everything. But I now refuse those things because I'm like, God, I could never have thought about this in my mind that one day will come that I'll be like this, you know. So no matter where you are now, just know that there were days you used to pray for this. So thank God. In fact, go back in time and just start thanking God in steps of what He has helped you to achieve till this point. You know, yeah, be ambitious, but just forget, you know, don't let your ambition chop off your gratitude of this moment. And that is what would always remove satisfaction and enjoyment and just always keep you in the loop of that rat race. And at the end of the day, you now experience the vanity side of life. But the way to enjoy the beautiful side of life is through intentionality in giving God the glory and in giving God the gratitude for everything that you have now. I hope that makes sense to somebody. God bless you.